Welcome back to another episode of Inside Louisiana Basketball. I'm sitting down with head coach Bob Marlin. So I want to get straight into the last game you had this season in the Sun Belt tournament against South Alabama. So walk us through that game and tell us what happened.
Well, it was a tough basketball game. We had beaten South Alabama 5 times in a row and got off to a poor start, fell behind 8-2, and 6 was the biggest margin throughout the game, and either way. And then at halftime we were tied at 33. The second half we took a lead briefly and weren't able to capitalize on it. We had a couple of bad turnovers and missed shots, and then at the end of the game, with the score tied again, we had an opportunity to make a couple of free throws to take the lead. We also had a chance to make a big three-point basket in the corner. P.J. Hardy shot, missed it, didn't get back defensively, and fouled Roderick Sykes. He makes the second of 2 free throws. We got the ball to half court, called timeout. Didn't like the way the court was looking and wanted to make sure we got a good look. And drew a play up. They called timeout. We changed a little bit, and I got a great shot. Cedric Russell had a great shot that I thought was in, and he missed it. So, it came down to one shot, and a very disappointing loss. It's always tough. It's such a sudden end in college basketball when you lose, and you're not expecting to lose. But that's the way the game played. It was unfortunate. We certainly would have liked to have won and had a chance to advance, but it didn't happen.
So how do you feel about the season as a whole?
I thought it was a great season. Had a really good first semester. We lost a couple of games that we didn't have our guys at full strength. With Jaquin and Gant going out for a couple of games in the fall, we lost a home game. And then Malik goes down at Southeastern Louisiana, and that changed our team, to be honest. And coming into conference, it was very different, as we had to kind of reinvent ourselves to make sure that we had the group that we needed to have out on the court and play the way we needed to play to win. And we struggled a little bit in the middle of the season, but we were able to come back and finish strong. And we were 500 on the road in college basketball. It's very difficult to do. We also won double-figure games, I believe, for the 8th time in the 9 years that I've been here in conference, and we've won more conference games during this time than anyone except for Georgia State. So we did a good job to finish, and I felt like we could get to the championship of the tournament. Our bracket was tough. The way things fall down, it's very easy to look back and say what if, but if we had made the shot and beat Texas State, that last shot, and then also if we'd have beaten Apple on senior day, we would have been the 2 seed all the way through. So the seniors did a great job. Really proud of Marcus. He set a single game record for assist in the conference tournament, and had 13, and we shoot 6 of 22 from 3. So if we make our normal shots, he's going to get 18 assists. And really proud of him and the leadership he provided. Led the league in assists throughout the year, second in steals, and Jaquin had a phenomenal year. Was up the leaders and everything. And then Malik was a leader and was playing fantastic when he went out. So really proud of that group and what they accomplished.
With 3 seniors leaving, who are you looking for leadership for next year?
Well, we're still recruiting. I'll be on the road to meet with some young men and watch them play and evaluate. We're going to bring some guys in. We signed 3 guys in the early class that I think all have leadership capabilities. And then we've got some guys here that are returning, and Jalen Johnson, who set out. He's been a great leader for us this year. Kobe Julian, Trajan Wesley, etc.
Tell us a little bit more about the recruits that you already have. What are you excited about with them?
Well, they have length. Malik Wilson was rated as the #1 player in the state of Louisiana. He had a fantastic career, won back-to-back state championship, MVP of the tournament from Rayville, Louisiana. About 6'3", athletic, very long. He's got a 6'8" wingspan. Feel like he'll give us something that we didn't have once we lost Malik this year. Javon Lowry is a young man from Pearland, Texas. He can really shoot the basketball. He's about 6'4", 5", great athlete. He's a sprinter on his track team. And then Chris Spinkuch is a left-handed 6'7" forward from Miami, Florida. Played at Norland High School. He's MVP of Dade County All-Star game the other night. He's a special young man too. So I like all these guys and what they'll bring to our team.
What are you going to miss most about the 3 seniors leaving?
Just the camaraderie and the 3 years that we spent together. It's important as a coach. You try to be a positive influence on these young men on and off the court, and certainly feel like I've had a good relationship with all 3 of those guys, and they know how I feel about them, and they know how UL feels about them and the people of Acadiana. So they're very appreciative of the opportunity they've had here, and I feel like they've made the most of it.
What do you see for them in the future?
I feel like all of them will play basketball at some point. We're still in the early stages of that. We're talking with agents right now and trying to decide what direction their career will go. Feel confident that Jacqueline will play in Portsmouth, which is the first step to the NBA pre-draft combine in Chicago, and we'll see how it goes.
So what would you say the highs and lows were for this season that you want to change for next year?
Well, you always want to go to the NCAA tournament. The low is getting beat in the tournament. The low was losing Malik. I mean, Malik went out in December, the last week of December, the week of that conference season started. That Saturday before, and I had my mother and dad and wife in the hospital at the same time that we played Arkansas State in Little Rock. It was a very trying time for me personally, and that was the low point of the season for me, for sure. One of the high points was Jacqueline scoring 45 points. You know, he was spectacular. Then we go to Georgia State and he scores 36. Did a great job there and continued to score and step up with Malik out. So I was proud of the way that he responded.
What happens during the off season for men's basketball?
Well, there is no off season really except for May and August. We will take a week or so break here when the Final Four is over. Our guys will get back into a 4 or 3 day a week lifting regiment, and then we'll do individual workouts, get through with exams. They'll be off in May for 3 weeks and come back in June, and we'll start working out again. We're allowed to work with the guys in the summertime now, which is very positive.
Next on Inside Louisiana Basketball, Ragin Cajuns Hall of Famer Yvette Girard relives a historic moment with Dan McDonald. And later, I'm joined by Women's Basketball Associate Head Coach Deacon Jones to recap the season.
Look at me in the eye. They bleed just like you bleed. There is no apprehension. There is no fear. Bottom line, they got to come through us to get this done. All right, we decide what happens. We dictate what happens on that field today. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3, together.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, I think I will help you show it. If you're happy and you know it, mange.
We're at what used to be known as Lamson Park, the Ragin Cajuns softball complex, but now it's got a new name. I'm Dan McDonald along with my partner Yvette Girard, and you can see that new name out on the field. That dedication took place Friday night when the Cajuns opened Alumni Weekend, and they did it in fine style. They defeated Troy by a score of 9-1. Normally that would be the big story, that the Cajuns have another conference win. They're 4-0, but not so much tonight, because this is and I can only imagine what a special night this is for you.
I'm still speechless. I think that might have been my worst broadcast in my broadcasting career, because I just couldn't think, Dan. It's just a monumental honor, one that I never dreamed would happen, and to have so many former players back on the field with me tonight, and some huge names in this program meant so much to me. But you know, again, I'm just blown away. The administration in this last couple of months has just gone above and beyond to make me feel welcome back home and to have our players back. And, you know, I thought getting into the Hall of Fame was was icing on the cake. But man, to have a field named after you is just so cool.
And the cool thing is it happens on Alumni Weekend. There's probably, 60, 70, 80 former players here this weekend that are all taking part in all these activities. And to have it happen right now, I mean, the timing, it's just exquisite.
Well, I didn't hit the ball over the fence. I didn't pitch the ball. I didn't get those wins. But, those players become a part of your family forever. And, it was the climb up. A lot of those early years, we were learning together. I'm sure I didn't know what I was doing a lot of times, but and we were so close in age. But I wouldn't want to share it with anybody else on the field than those players. But a coach certainly doesn't do it by themselves. I had tremendous assistant coaches that helped me, the parents of the players, my parents, my family that was so involved in this program, and then the country's best fans.
We have to remember that this program started in 1981, and you started it from scratch. I mean, when you start a program from scratch, I remember you didn't have a field the first year. You played all over the place. Your field the second and third year was basically an intramural field with some chicken wire around the whole park. And then you start this facility here, and what it's become now is just spectacular. So I know you have to be so thrilled to see that not only is this program continued where you left it, but it has still progressed. It has remained one of the best programs in the country.
Well, I always said it was like giving birth to a child. It was my child, but this is an adult that is flourishing now. And no matter who's coaching on third base, this program just continues to excel. And it's just amazing the story of how it started and how it progressed and where it is today.
And there are also a lot of social activities going around this weekend around all the alumni and so forth. And you mentioned those stories. And, people talk about, the wins, you talk about the home runs and so forth. But that's when all you get together, that's not what comes up. It's all those stories of how it all happened.
I told him that all along. When we get together again in years gone by, it'll never be about the wins. And we never talk about, what happened at this World Series game or this regional. It's all about the experiences and the fun times we had together, the goofy times, the hard times, but it's all about the experiences.
My partner, Yvette Girard, and you see behind us now here at Yvette Girard Field at Lamson Park. For Yvette Girard, I'm Dan McDonald.
Next on Inside Louisiana Basketball, Women's Basketball Associate Head Coach Deacon Jones joins us to recap the season.
The Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or L Directors Cup on Twitter. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
Crunchy Fritos, warm, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents.
It's like a warm chili cheese Fritos family reunion.
Yeah, I feel warm just thinking about it.
That's the chili. I feel it too.
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos chili cheese faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Basketball. I'm sitting down with Associate Head Coach Deacon Jones. Garry Brodhead is out on the recruiting trail today. So you guys had your last game of the season against South Alabama in the Sun Belt Tournament. Walk us through that game and tell us what happened.
Okay. Of course, we had to travel, being that we were the lower seed. So we had to travel to South Alabama and play them on their home court, which was a huge disadvantage because normally we play in New Orleans at a neutral site. Well, throughout the game, we were down we were down the whole time, and as much as about 30 points. And our girls, we had to settle down our young ladies. At halftime, we spoke about, the pros and the cons of what we were doing. And coming out of halftime, I think the girls were more settled. We cut the lead down to 12, in which we decided to press. And these young ladies, to the much of display of the coaches, they did a phenomenal job of pressing. So that woke us up for next year. So we got some good things out of it. Even though we lost, and I think the fans, whoever watched the game, saw that the second half, what is to come from this team. I mean, we battled back from almost a 30-point deficit to lose by 12, and they sort of fighting these young ladies. They didn't quit. So again, we have something to build off of next season.
You said during halftime you talked about the highs and the lows during that game. So what did you think were the highs and the lows?
Whoa. Whew. Well, the lows was definitely we were not healthy, and we had to kind of gauge the game off of that. We know we needed to play Sky. We know we needed to play Ty. And Jamara was still, she was injured also. So our 3 sophomores who had a little bit of experience from last year were all banged up. So I think the coaches wanted to press in the first quarter, like right off the bat, but we knew we wouldn't be putting our team in a huge advantage if we would have did that. So we decided to wait till the second half. And so that was kind of like the low for us, knowing that we didn't have the numbers or the physical capable of being healthy to do it. And now the highs, we know we could do it. Especially the freshmen, they wanted to do it so bad. Like they was like, Coach, we're going to press next year. Next year, that's all we want to do is press. So we all got excited and said, yes, we have something to build off of.
So what would you say was the high and the lows for the season overall?
Judging back from that last question, I think we didn't have the numbers. We didn't have, most teams are composed of, say, 10 to 15 players that can actually play, and we barely had the 10. And we had 10, but with that being said, we only had 7 bodies that was actually healthy that could actually play. And with your top 3 players being hurt, of that 10, it kind of was a low point for us in the season. And knowing that it wasn't because of lack of energy or effort from these young ladies, they battled their tails off. They played, and my hat goes off to them. I wouldn't ask for a better group of young ladies to go out on the battlefield with. But we just didn't have the numbers, and we weren't healthy.
So what improvements are you looking to make for next year?
Well, like you said at the beginning, Coach Brodhead is on the recruiting trail. He's hitting every city that he can get to, to help improve these the youngsters that they play. And I think with the excitement of how we left off of South Alabama, those young ladies ready to press, and because we build off of defense. We love pressing, we love playing at a high speed, and so the improvements is definitely going to be recruiting.
Since you have no seniors, you're going to have majority of the team coming back. Who are you looking for next year for leadership?
That's a great question. Well, we did have leadership. It's just that they weren't playing. They were hurt. I think Kimberly Burton and Jasmine Thomas are our leaders, but they were sidelined this year. And their voice was heard, but the freshmen never actually got a chance to play with Kim or J-Bay. Well, Jasmine Thomas, as we call her, J-Bay. And so they heard of them. They probably seen them play on, TVs or on a visit, but they never actually had that experience of playing with them. And that hurt because there was the experience and the common effect for these young ladies, and they didn't get the chance to experience that on the court together, have that chemistry. So next year with a healthy Jasmine Thomas and a healthy Kim, I think we're going to be where we need to be at, And so leadership will come from these two young ladies because of their 3 years of experience. It's difficult coming from high school to Division I, getting all that playing time, but not having that leadership on the floor. You got to realize the coaches cannot go on the court and play. So when they're out there and looking for advice or looking for some type of direction or just looking for that common effect, we're not out there. So that's where, again, Jasmine and Kim going to come in because they're going to be, it's okay, don't worry about it. Or pick it up, let's go. And they're going to say, okay, they're going to respond better to their peers instead of to us as coaches, not being on the floor.
So with the freshmen having 1 year under their belt, how do you think it'll help next year with them being more mature?
Like I was telling all the coaches, this year was on-the-job training. These freshmen had on-the-job training. They didn't have to sit back and look. You know, some people can sit back and watch and cry about playing time or what. They had it. They got it. Whether it was good or bad, you know, they got it. And I think they grew from that, you know. So that was a learning experience because a lot of people like to be in the, you know, in the trenches. Coach, I want to do it. Coach, let me do it. Let me do it. Well, you had your opportunity to do it. So now I think that alone gonna build for next year, especially the freshmen that had a chance to play. You know, you can only get better by playing, you know, in the midst of the games, you know. If you're sitting down and you're not playing, well, you hope that you have experience in front of you that, okay, I know why I'm sitting. I know why I'm not playing because, Jasmine Thomas or Kimberly Burton is, but I'm really playing in practice against them. So I'm getting better in practice because the people in front of me are really good or better than me. That's why I'm sitting. So if I'm not playing in the game, I'm using practice as that gauge to get better because those girls that I'm going against are better than me anyway.
Do you have any new exciting recruits that are coming in?
Oh, do we? Whew. I hate to say it, I wish they were here now. We have McKellen Harmon out of Red River, and she is just, she reminds me of some young ladies that we had before in the previous years that were just, I mean, they did everything. And she's about, I give about 5'5", but she plays like she's 6'5". I mean, she rebounds, she shoots the three, she scores at all levels. She plays defense. When y'all see this young lady next year, y'all gonna be very much excited. Now again, she'll be a freshman. She will have to learn. Again, hopefully she get the playing time now because the freshmen that played are now experienced, and hopefully they don't want to give up their spot. So hopefully that's gonna be a good competitive spirit on her. We have Alex Goodley out of Lake Charles from St. Louis High School. They lost in the finals of their state playoffs by, I want to say, 4. So she's coming with that competitive nature, that championship spirit. She's a point guard, so she's there to learn from Jasmine Thomas. She's just as good as Jasmine Thomas, high IQ player, can pass, can shoot, and she's very much a leader. Now, will we expect her to be that leader right off the bat? No. Jasmine Thomas, again, with the experience, can help this young lady not to have that on-the-job training, but to play, you know, spell her some minutes if need be. And we have Kyra Wren out of McKinley Baton Rouge High School, and she's a force in the middle. High IQ player, also can rebound, can play defense, knows how to take charges, can score around the basket. Level-headed kid, very coachable kid. All three of them are coachable kids. So again, what we hope that they bring in is like, I want to take somebody's position.
Yeah.
And we hope our girls say, no, you're not taking our position because I played last year and I'm not giving up your spot. So it was a gift and a curse that these freshmen played. Now, don't give it up. Don't let these freshmen come in and be the freshmen that take all y'all minutes like y'all played last year.
Next on Inside Louisiana Basketball, we take a sneak peek into the latest Ragin Cajuns podcast where two-time Olympian Hollis Conway describes his life goal.
To perform, you need speed, skill, strength. With every muscle, every move, you push your body to reach its full potential. But sometimes you just can't push through the pain. That's when you know it's time to address it. So when injury puts you on the sidelines, trust us to get you back in the game. Lourdes Sports Care, the team behind your team.
The Steakhouse Bacon Cheeseburger from Sonic. Crispy bacon, melty cheese, black pepper mayo, and grilled onions. No reservations required. The Steakhouse Burger and Tots for only $4.99. Get them now.
I found that when I'm being around people makes me alive, to be able to say something. And I'll tell you what really, there was an eye-opener. I researched something called the elevator pitch. You know, you have to, as a speaker, you know, when someone asks you, what do you speak about? You need to be able to do it in like 15, 20 seconds. And you need to leave them asking you for more. You don't tell them everything. You don't, the worst thing you say, I speak on anything. So I had to start honing messages of what I believe, and a lot of it revolved around athletics. I found that people want to know about what I did, my journey, and it inspired them. But people say, you went to the Olympics? I say, yes, it's okay, because I'm thinking about it. I didn't win, and I would do that all the time. And somebody said, you missed a divine opportunity to speak something to their life that would spark a light that would change their life. And so I started practicing it, and somebody would say, did you go to the Olympics? I say, it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And their eyes would open up. Tell me about it. And then I would end up saying, if you tap into your dream or anything, I realize there's an opportunity to change generations. And so that's kind of that gives me energy. I feel better when I'm helping people than I'm talking about myself. I'll use that stuff for that purpose. And so I researched myself, and I found that I've done some incredible things as an athlete. Track doesn't always get the recognition, so I fight that. We live in America, football, basketball, baseball, golf. Over in Europe, it's soccer, it's track and field, 2 biggest sports in the world. And so I've been on a mission to be known more for me helping and encouraging people than I am as a high jumper. That's been a secret mission of my mind. You just kind of opened up a secret not many people know. And so everything I do, no matter the job title, no matter where I am, is to make a difference in people's lives. And so while I'm here, no matter what that job title says, I need to make a difference in our senior staff, in the faculty and staff, in our student athletes, and the students on campus, in the diversity department. I need to be able to use everything that has happened in my life to maybe say one thing that would change the direction of not only the people that I influence, but maybe their families and the generations to come. So I would like for people, when I'm gone, dead and gone, to say, that guy made a difference in my life. I don't want them to say, that guy went to the Olympics, he was an incredible athlete. That's fine. But if that's all people say about me, I failed in life horribly.
Look at me in the eye. They bleed just like you bleed. There is no apprehension. There is no fear. Bottom line, they got to come through us to get this done. All right, we decide what happens. We dictate what happens on that field today. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3, together.
At the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, our Ragin Cajuns spirit goes beyond athletics.
Thank you so much for joining us for our first season of Inside Louisiana Basketball. Don't fret, coverage of Louisiana athletics will continue next week. Inside Louisiana Baseball with Coach Tony Robichaux starts Tuesday, March 26th at 6 p.m. Inside Louisiana Softball with Coach Jerry Glasgow starts Wednesday, March 27th at 6. Both programs air right here on CST. Once again, thank you and good night.